Well, no, bitch, sorry. Oh, no, why would I want to have period sex? It's just gonna be a bloodbath. Oh, it's disgusting.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, which is sex day, but actually I'm a day later, so sorry about that. I want to start by saying thank you for the small number of people who watched, but still thank you for you guys who watched and for the comments afterwards. I was really touched by it. I think it was really sweet. If you've seen my latest video, you know that I was feeling really quite down. But at the end of the day, I think that the oils that I took and everything that I tried to do to give myself some empathy and some love, it worked to some extent because, well, I didn't feel so down. I still had enough energy to go to work and function. And I think what was the cause of my mood got sorted, so I feel already much better. But it still applies. I mean, giving myself some love through skincare or through anything else. Just when I feel so down, making sure that I don't judge myself and I don't get all angry at myself. That's the most important time where I need to do that, and yeah, count on myself for that. Anyways, if you haven't watched the previous video and you don't know what I'm talking about, then sorry about that. Anyway, so today I want to talk about something that really cracks me up. It's sex during your period. So yes, it applies to women because women have their period, but then it applies to their partners, obviously, because you've got to go through the period. My dog is wanting to play. So having sex during your period, how does that work? Lots of people are like, oh my god, why can't you wait like until your period is finished? Why would you even want to have sex during that time? Like, are you not feeling all down and doesn't your belly ache and don't you have a headache and stuff? Yes, during my period, all of those things are happening. I have a headache, I have a backache, I have a bellyache, I get all moody, especially before my period, actually. But my period time is hard, which is why you need even more love and affection and compassion and empathy from your partner if you have a partner. And I don't see why you should stop having sex just because you're on your period. Just because now the liquid is colored. I mean, yes, usually your pussy is discharging some liquid. Not discharging, but when you're horny and you're ready to have sex with your partner, you're gonna have loads of liquid going down that road. And yet that's not a problem. The partner wants to lick it. I hope so for you. Your partner wants to fuck you, and the fact that it's so wet makes him very horny. But all of a sudden, because it's period, it's like a no, we don't even want to get near that. I'm sorry, but if the person in question, the person who has her period, is clean, please explain to me, please explain what the hell is wrong with having sex during your period. One. Two, isn't it even better if you're not trying to get pregnant? You have your period, and your partner, if you're in a straight relationship, if you're in a lesbian relationship, perfect, because there's not even that thing about, oh, you might get pregnant or not. That's great. But if you're in a straight relationship and you're not trying to get pregnant, and like me, you're usually using the pull out method, because I'm not putting any contraception near my face, near my body. I think it's, yeah, I'm not into that shit. I'm not about that life. So sorry, I didn't mean to say shit. I do believe it's shit, but if it's good for you, then great, I'm not judging. But yeah, since I'm not using any contraceptive, my partner and I use the pull-out method, which means that every time he comes, he has to remove himself from my vagina, which is really, really annoying because, well, I'd love for him to come inside of me and him too. But that can't happen. Or I guess if you don't believe in the pull-out method, although for me it's been working for years and years and years with different partners as well. But if you don't like this method, then I guess you have to use condoms. Condoms are annoying. I think they stink. You don't feel the same. And there's just something in between your two bodies. Like it's for me it's not natural. I want to feel all of my partner. I don't want to feel half of it. Like, yeah, I can kind of feel you down there. No. If you use the pull-out method, then during your period, you don't even need to use that method. You can just go straight in and, ejaculate in there, come all over the place, inside, and there's no problem. If you want to be a bit adventurous, here's the time during your period. Although I'm well aware that you can get pregnant during your period, but the chances are very slim in comparison to in the middle of ovulation, for example. So yeah, I think that's another reason. And also another reason, even if you still pull out, you're extra wet for free. So as a woman, you're extra wet, and if you're horny on top of your period, it's just like horniness, period fluid, and most of the time it even mostly stops bleeding because you're so horny. So your body is made really well. It will, unless it's like the first day, the first day of period of your menstruation cycle, and you have a really, really, really heavy blood flow. Unless this is the case, then second day, third day, fourth day, whatever, most of the time the blood is being replaced by your wet pussy, like as usual, and then you go back to bleeding. But during intercourse, if you're actually wanting to have sex, you're not even going to have that much blood around, but you still get super wet, like your vagina is already kind of lubricated. And for the guy, it's amazing. And also, I don't know for the women that are watching or whatever, but for me, I'm even more horny. I'm horny all the time, but I'm even more horny before the period and during the period, if that's possible. So I usually want to have sex like, I think about it a few times during the day. But yeah, like before my period, I get really, really horny. Like I wake up, I think about sex. I have a shower. Even if I just had sex, I'm like, oh, I still want it again. But I need to do other things with my life today other than having sex. But it's really difficult to concentrate because I wish I could have sex all the time. So yeah, I don't have any lesbian friends, but I don't know like what's their take on having sex during period time. But I would think like you go around it. And in terms of oral sex, you can have oral sex during your period. Just shove a tampon on, or one of those cups that gets filled with your blood. I don't remember how they're called, but I think that those are really cool. So you put this little cup and it fills up with your blood, and then you go and empty it, and you don't actually reuse. You can actually reuse this cup throughout the day and rinse it and throughout your period. So it's amazing. You don't waste as much, and it's you don't get irritated by all this putting in and out. But anyway, if you use tampons, you just shove a tampon in there, and then you can get licked and all kind of play without any problem, without even noticing that you have your period. So sex is definitely possible and very enjoyable during your period. I think that your clit is even more sensitive during that time, which is lovely. And for you to come is gonna be like in 2 minutes if you're anything like me. So yes, that was oral sex during your period. And then I was thinking from the guy point of view.
Sorry guys, as I started editing the video, I realized that the second part of the video didn't record the sound, so you can imagine my disappointment. Anyway, what I was saying is that from a guy's point of view, at least all the men that I've had around me until lately, apart from one of my previous relationship and this current relationship, all the men, including friends, they're all like, oh no, why would I want to have period sex? It's just gonna be a bloodbath. Oh, it's disgusting and shit. And it's like, actually, it's not going to be a bloodbath because when your girl is going to be all soaking wet because she wants you to fuck her, the blood flow will diminish a lot for the time that you're going to fuck her. It's just like when girls go in the water, the blood stops flowing, you know? It's just a natural thing. The body is made very, very well, and it's not made for people to stop having sex for 5 days straight or 8 days straight, depending on the person. The body is prepared for us to keep having sex whilst we're on our period. It's actually no big deal. And also, I think that guys that find it disgusting either have a real issue with women or, need to grow up and understand how the body works. No, you're not going to end up with 3 liters of blood on your bed or wherever you want to fuck. And no, it's not gonna smell like fish, because if it smells like fish when she's on her period, it's going to smell like fish when she's not on her period, which means there's an issue. Either she's got a yeast infection, well, that's not pleasant, so have some empathy for her, or she's not very clean. And if she's not very clean, you want to have sex with her whether she's on her period or not. Maybe you need to tell her, look, you need to wash down there a bit with water. No need to go all crazy and use all types of soap. You don't want to give her an infection by over cleaning. But seriously, yeah, seriously, it's no big deal. I think you guys need to grow up. On the next video, I talk about the relationship that got me completely fucked up. But there's some like happy moments in this story, so keep on watching if you haven't already. And if you're enjoying seeing my face and you want to see more of it, don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate all of you guys that already subscribed, and if you're watching the video right now, I'm very grateful, and I hope that it can be helpful, entertaining, that it can bring you a little something. I'd be really interested to see what people think about that. Even women, I know that I've heard some women saying, but do you really have to have sex during your period? Can't you hold on for 3-4 days, 5 days? Well, no, bitch, sorry, I don't know how your libido is, but I want to have sex 24/7, especially during my period. It's even more, like I need even more love, affection, and sex is part of it. So I don't see why I should deprive myself of that just because there's a different liquid flowing between my thighs. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and see you soon. Bye!